It's all in your head. It's confidence.
Don't get cute with that. Okay, keep going.
They're designing a product. There's R&D. There's going to be failure. You know, it's engineering, right?
If your house was built within the last 15 years, chances are the builder used a shingle that could cause you some big headaches down the road.
How old are you?
31.
31. So you were born in 88.
That's right.
That age. My sister was born in 88, and for me, she's still a little baby.
Yeah.
And you have that baby face.
I do.
Would you consider yourself successful?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Tell me the feedback you were getting from your competition. I think I already know the answer. I think I'm getting the same feedback from older players. You accomplished at your 31 what some companies, roofing companies, cannot accomplish in decades.
Yeah.
For being such a young player on the market, what challenges do you have?
Well, I mean, right off the bat, you talked about the baby face. You know, when you have an older person go out there, it lends credibility, you know, to meet with the customer. 'Cause it's like, oh, this guy's been doing this for a very long time. But, you know, I have to overcome that with knowledge. And I think, you know, we talked, I tend to geek out or nerd out on roofing products and stuff like that. So, you know, I've kind of fallen into my position, and I'm a lot better at talking to people now. But you're right, there's a lot of older guys, and I'm mostly friends with my competition around here. I mean, we have our own Facebook group, and you know, we talk and hang out and stuff like that. But there's a couple guys out there I can tell that are bitter.
Bitter because you're younger or
Younger.
less knowledgeable?
Well, yeah, they assume I'm less knowledgeable. They assume I don't know what I'm talking about, and that's just not true anymore. I mean, it's if you apply yourself and learn anything, I mean, you can learn anything. I'll put it that way. So,
what advice would you give someone who is super young, maybe early 20s, who started a roofing business, who in roofing sales? How would you recommend overcoming those objections, like about you're not experienced, or you're too young, or how did you deal with it first year in business? Now you probably have more confidence. Would you agree it's all in your head?
It's all in your head. It's confidence, right?
Did you have the confidence first year in business?
Not at all.
The one that you have today?
No, not at all. I mean, if I had to do it all over again, I'd be so much better this time. And the first couple of jobs I did were just referrals from my father-in-law, to be honest with you. That's how I started this business in the first place. He needed a roof, and then, you know, I was just going to do one. It was a one-off thing. And then his best friend wanted one. It just snowballed. So I think I had it easy. I didn't really set out to do roofing. It just kind of happened.
The next question is about shingles. Who makes the best shingle? I see a lot of shingles laying around. Obviously, you have Atlas story. We have Mike Holmes in the background. Yep. Tell me about your relationship with Atlas. Why Atlas out of all 8 brands out there? Do you install anything else?
I love Atlas. I love the Scotch Guard. Again, it's like I told you in the past, I geek out on products. There's so many features with Pinnacle Pristine. It's easy for me to sell because I'm into it. You know, the nail zone, the 4 nails, the Scotch Guard. I mean,
3M story, because you have a lot
3M
of
story.
We were driving yesterday. There's so many strikes. It's
crazy.
In some markets, I think it's almost like you have to push. Here,
it's easy.
When you told me those neighborhoods 2-3 years old.
Yeah, literally.
So does Atlas has really good presence? How many contractors install Atlas here?
There's a lot. So I would say Atlas and OC
are the main ones
dominate this area. Yeah.
Well, tell me what else you like about Atlas.
What I really like about Atlas, I'm a relationship kind of guy.
And this is not plug for Atlas. We don't care for Atlas. Atlas. This is, you know.
I got you, Atlas.
Don't get cute with that. Okay, keep going.
I got you guys. So I'm a relationship guy, right? Just like Chris Barwick over at Travis Roofing. I'm not needy, but I like people that I can call up if I've got a technical question and I get an answer quickly. I like people that check in on me, make sure I'm good, I have the marketing material I need and all that. So Atlas has been fantastic to deal with. My rep, Mike, Mike Walker.
Mike Holmes?
Yeah, Mike Walker and Mike Holmes. He's just super great to work with. And like, I don't like, if I'm your customer and I have to reach out to you multiple times just to get in touch with you, that's a problem. Like, I'm selling you your product. So
what does contractor usually needs from manufacturers? Like, besides, some shingle samples, like what other support?
I mean, we're not needy, right? So
Exactly.
if I have a problem, I just want to be able to call you up and ask, hey, what can I do? If I need some shingle samples, yeah, like, can you either send me some, or where can I go pick up some? Like, yeah, it's simple stuff. I'm not asking for, trips to the Bahamas and stuff like that. I just want service. Just like I have to give my customers service, I want my reps to give me service. So
let's talk about Chalet.
When a Georgia storm hits a Georgia roof, you expect to stay covered and dry.
I know Atlas doesn't want to talk about it, doesn't like to talk about it, which I don't blame them, but I know a lot of contractors, when we give shout out to Atlas for, Atlas is awesome. We love Atlas, but I know they have issues in the past. What's your take on Chalet Shingles? Was it a big failure in Tennessee, or was more like Atlanta region? I know Atlanta has like the most claims, I think. I know a lot of contractors hate Atlas because of failed shingle. What's your take on it?
So Atlas Chalet was installed in the Memphis area like crazy.
Okay.
So it's everywhere. It's slowly being replaced right now.
Okay. What's the story there? How did it fail? Why do you think it failed? And what's the life expectancy of Chalet Shingles?
They sure sound fancy, designed to look like expensive architectural shingles without paying a lot of money.
Hey guys, I know you're enjoying this interview. Brent is absolutely amazing. He's our newest host of Roofing Insights. I want you to show him nice warm welcome in comments below. He's only 31, cannot even grow facial hair yet, but he's a very sharp businessman. I want you to show how you appreciate good sense of business by such a young entrepreneur. Comment something welcoming and warm, or something sarcastic. I'm going to pick up 2 winners. I'm going to send you a t-shirt for the best sarcastic comment or the best welcome comment welcoming Brent Simmons as a host to Roofing Insights show.
Well, I'll tell you about the life expectancy. It's kind of funny. So the same guy I keep on talking about, Chris Barwick, has Chalet on his house.
Really?
It's a good looking roof. I'll just say this. We get that objection from time to time. Like, oh, they had this big, I think there was like a lawsuit or class action thing. And I have an email that I send with class action lawsuits for every single shingle manufacturer, because I think every single one's had some type of failure.
Pretty much, yeah.
They're designing a product. There's R&D. There's going to be failure, It's engineering, right? So the reason why it's like in the South, Chalet stands out is because it was installed so much, right? But I mean, the more I'm getting into this, and if I guess farther down the road I'm getting selling Atlas products, I'm hearing less and less people talk about Chalet.
Sure.
So,
Well, the same goes with the certain teeth. A lot of guys are so bitter against certain teeth because they have organic shingles, that failed. But what they are not talking about, that certain teeth have paid over $1 billion in claims.
Yeah.
I mean, show me a manufacturer who paid $1 billion. I personally have bigger issues with the other manufacturers who didn't pay $1 billion, who are walking away with the claims today. Nobody talks about it, who's screwing contractors. Every time, like, my last interview, Apple Roofing, they just talked about, 600 square job that failed within first 6 months. And that manufacturer didn't want to even open the claim. And nobody talks about it. So everybody trashing, Atlas for Chalet or certain teeth for organic shingles, but no one's talking about what's happening today in the industry. How did Atlas in this area, because it's very popular for Chalet, how did they handle it, and what's the payout? If I have Chalet in my house right now, under class action or whatever, does Atlas covers it? Is there payout?
That I really don't know. I really don't. I've actually heard that like Atlas won.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That was before my time, Dimitri. Okay. I'm just here to put the right stuff up.
Sure.
But yeah.
But what's life expectancy? What's the oldest Chalet roofs you've seen? like 20 years, 15 years?
About 15 years.
15, and they're
Yeah.
still holding up.
Yeah, I mean, the ones I've seen are not horrible.
Okay.
It's the same thing. What is it? The Certainty Independence that's
Yep.
discontinued. That's
Curling, that's failure. That's
Yeah.
like 7-8 years, and
yeah.
sunny side usually gonna completely beat up. Like,
But see, the problem is, well, I guess it's not a problem. It's a great thing. A lot of, so the Chalet is basically a 3-tab shingle. It's affected by wind. So a lot of them are being replaced
by insurance claims.
by insurance claims. So
Because
I don't even think it's really,
discontinued shingle,
yeah, and it actually makes it
the
easier.
insurance will pay for it.
Right. It's discontinued. Tennessee is a matching state. So it's easy for me to be like, oh, your Chalet has wind damage. There might be 3 or 4 of them, but there's no shingle in the market that'll match that. So
Sure.
it needs to be replaced. And here's the law that says it needs to be replaced.
What do you think about their tar line on the face of the shingle? I know a lot of roofers complain about it. It's gunk their gun.
Yeah,
guns.
and that's an issue, but you don't have to nail directly into the tar.
Sure.
I mean, they've
You
got
go
a
in
huge
between.
nailing strip. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
What do you think about it? Is it good design? What's your feedback on the shingle itself? Let's talk about just the product. What do you think about Atlas shingles and compare it to other shingles? Obviously, you've seen our reviews.
Yeah.
You review shingles yourself. You will be reviewing for us in the near future. What's your take?
I'm not going to be the guy to be like, hey, Atlas that's the only thing I'll ever install. I think there's a lot of good shingles out there. I've got OC in here too. I'm, OC certified. I'm a Certainty, I think 4-star. So I think there's a lot of good products. But
Is it 4-star out of 5 stars?
Yeah. You got to do a lot to do the 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I installed Grand Manor quite a bit for this one builder. So I wanted to be able to offer that warranty, but Certainty's not my bread and butter. So
Okay. What do you think about 50-year warranty that all manufacturers are offering now? Will any shingle on the market, any of them, I don't care the brand name, will any of the shingles, asphalt shingles, last 50 years?
in the perfect condition, I'm sure they will.
Like in the warehouse condition?
Yeah.
I'm talking about outside some.
In Memphis, they won't. I'm sorry.
So do you feel like it's a gimmick what manufacturers are doing with the warranties? Lifetime, or misleading at least for the consumer? Or is it?
I think for some of them it is misleading. Yeah. I mean, you read the exclusions in some of the warranties, and it's like basically impossible to get a claim from some of the manufacturers.
Sure. Or it's a leak only warranty.
Yeah.
It's like the worst exclusion.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that's kind of a weird. I mean, we know it all started with one company and everybody had to follow suit in order to compete. But yeah, no shingle's going to last 50 years.
Will metal roof last 50 years?
Every roof needs maintenance.
Maintenance, yeah.
Yeah.
But metal roofs, you see metal roofing jobs out there that been there for 40 years. If it's good
Yeah.
solid metal, standing seam.
I think a good standing seam with no fasteners, if you can have no fasteners at all, it'll last as
I mean,
long
you can
as.
maintain it for a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's not gonna like fall apart. It's
Right.
not gonna leak per se. It's not gonna.
But some of the other, and it'll eventually lose its color too. Well,
Sure.
I think that it's like a Kynar coating, I think it's like 30 or 40 year warranty on that.
Yep.
But what I see going on in this area a lot is, they're selling it as standing seam because it's got that profile, but there's fasteners in the flues. So it's like,
It's different.
it's not a real standing seam roof. And those fasteners do need maintenance. They'll eventually need to be replaced. Those washers are going to dry out, so
Sure.
every roof needs maintenance. You get a copper lock seam, where it's soldered and all that. You're going to have to come back and resolder after.
So it looks like you're a big fan of asphalt shingles.
Yeah, I like them. I mean, it's sustainable. You're not, it's not an arm and a leg compared to some of the other products out there. I think they're catching up.
Atlas makes other shingles, but only the Chalet line has been discontinued. And Sine Russ, I checked, and my house, it turns out, has Atlas Chalet shingles on there. But I've had it looked at, and I've been told I got a good 5-10 more years left on it, and I've already got 15 years on it now. So it's not the shingles so much that are the problem. They have not been deemed defective. There's some argument about that going on in court right now, but they have been discontinued. So you can't buy any replacement shingles if you have a couple that are damaged in a storm. And that's the controversy going on right now.